when aliens underestimated humans, a Marine's shocking revelation? Across the universe, countless intelligent civilizations exist, each with their own strengths and ways of life. Among them is a species called humans, living on a small planet named Earth. They are often considered weak and unremarkable, especially when compared to the advanced beings of the cosmos. In a grand meeting of the most powerful alien species, humans are the focus of discussion. The Council views them as insignificant species barely surviving on the edge of the galaxy. Their ways seem outdated, their technology primitive, and their constant conflicts baffling. But humans have a history that no one in the room truly understands. Behind their outward struggles lies something far more complicated: a fierce will to survive, an ability to adapt, and a creativity that has allowed them to overcome the odds time and again. Today, the Council has called for answers about humanity. What makes them persist when they seem so fragile? What has allowed them to thrive in ways that defy expectation? A representative from Earth has arrived, ready to tell the story that no alien could predict. This is the moment when the truth about humans is finally shared, a moment that will challenge what the Council thinks it knows. The reality of humanity isn't simple, and it isn't easy to overlook. What happens next will change everything. At the heart of a distant galaxy lies the Grand Hall of the Intergalactic Council, a place where the most advanced beings from countless star systems gather. The room glows with strange energies, filled with representatives from dozens of alien species. The chair, a being of pure energy, begins the meeting. We are here today to address a question posed by many among us. What do we make of the species known as humans? Are they a threat, a curiosity, or merely insignificant? The room hums with quiet conversations. Aliens of all shapes and sizes, each representing their worlds, share their views. First to speak is Zeltran Prime, a towering being made of shimmering crystal. The humans are small and fragile. Their reliance on combustion for energy and their obsession with trivial conflicts show how far behind they are compared to us. They are hardly worth our attention. Grixla, a creature resembling an insect with sharp antennae, interject. Indeed, their world is messy and chaotic. They squabble over resources and territories, behaving like lower organisms rather than intelligent beings. I've observed their communication method. Have you seen how they use rudimentary devices to share meaningless content with each other? The chamber fills with laughter as Grixla displays a projection of a human dancing awkwardly on a phone screen. Vorlox, a reptilian alien with shimmering scales, speaks next. While humans are entertaining to watch, they lack discipline and unity. They are fragmented, with no centralized leadership. If they pose any threat, it is only to themselves. Agreement spreads across the Council with nods and murmurs of approval. But from the shadows, a smaller alien speaks cautiously. Yet, they survive. Despite their flaws, they continue. They have faced disasters, natural and self-inflicted, and yet they endure. Perhaps we should not be so quick to dismiss. The Council falls quiet. The chair raises a glowing hand to restore order. Let us not speculate without evidence. We will hear from their representative, who has come to share their side of the story. Until then, keep an open mind. Humans may be more than what they seem. The great doors at the end of the hall slowly open. The sound echoes through the chamber, drawing all eyes toward the figure entering the room. The grand chamber fills with a lively debate as the Council members continue to discuss their observations of humans. The aliens take turns sharing their views, each with their own perspective on the peculiar species from Earth. Humans are fascinating in their contradictions. They argue and fight among themselves endlessly, yet they form bonds and alliances that seem unshakable. They cling to traditions while constantly trying to break away from them. Another voice interjects. Their methods are outdated. They still burn fuels for energy and struggle to manage their environment. How do they even survive with such inefficiency? The room fills with murmurs of agreement, but someone else adds, perhaps it's because of their stubbornness. They refuse to quit, even when it seems impossible. I've seen footage of their mountain climbers, explorers, and even scientists. They take risks for no logical reason, yet they achieve remarkable things. The Council chuckles as a projection of a human attempting an extreme stunt appears. Their idea of bravery is laughable at times, but you must admit, it's entertaining. One alien raises a holographic display, showcasing humanity's art, music, and literature. Despite their chaos, They create beauty. Their music is raw, emotional, and unpredictable. Their stories reflect their struggles and triumphs. There is something unique about their creativity. Another voice counters, but their creativity also fuels destruction. Have you seen their wars? Their weapons? Their history is filled with violence. How can a species with such destructive tendencies survive for so long? A new hologram lights up, showing images of Earth during moments of war and conflict. The chamber grows quiet as the council observes the devastation. Perhaps that's what makes them so resilient. They've survived because they've learned to adapt to even the harshest circumstances. Their ability to rebuild after destruction is unlike anything we've ever seen. Skepticism rises in the room. Rebuilding is one thing, but what about their lack of unity? They're divided into countless nations, cultures, and ideologies. They can't even agree on simple matters. A different voice responds. But that division is also their strength. Each group brings a new perspective, a new solution to problems. Their diversity might be the reason they've advanced as much as they have. The council listens intently as one member projects a series of human scientific breakthroughs. Their advancements may be slow compared to ours, but they've achieved remarkable things for a species of their level. From harnessing electricity to landing on their moon, they've shown ingenuity that cannot be ignored. Another alien adds, and let's not forget their curiosity. They constantly ask questions and seek answers. They explore their world and beyond with a hunger for knowledge that's unmatched. The chamber fills with laughter again as an alien shows a clip of humans enthusiastically building rockets and sending them into space. Primitive, yes, but they're trying. It's almost admirable. The council begins to shift from mockery to curiosity. Perhaps we've underestimated them. They are chaotic and flawed, but they also possess a determination that's rare. They may be behind us technologically, but their drive to improve is undeniable. The chair speaks again, silencing the room. Before we conclude our discussion, we must hear from their representative. Only then can we truly understand their nature. Until then, let us keep an open mind. As the discussion comes to a close, the council members exchange glances. The perception of humanity remains divided, but for the first time, there is a hint of respect mingled with their skepticism. The chamber grows silent as the great doors slide open. All eyes turn toward the humans stepping into the room. Clad in a uniform that speaks of battles fought and victories hard won, the representative's gaze is steady and unwavering. They walk with purpose, their boots echoing across the vast hall. The chair addresses the human. You stand before the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. We have debated your species and seek answers. Speak now and tell us who are the humans and why should we care? The human takes a moment, scanning the room filled with beings of unimaginable diversity. Then, with a firm but calm voice, they begin. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I know what you think of us. Weak, primitive, chaotic. I've heard it all before. And to some extent, you're right. We are flawed. We argue, we fight, we destroy. But if that's all you see, then you don't understand us at all. The human activates a holographic device, projecting images of Earth's history: vast deserts, lush forests, sprawling cities. This is Earth, our home, a planet of extremes. It's hot, it's cold, it floods, it burns. Survival here isn't guaranteed. It never was. But we adapted. We learned to endure. That's the first thing you need to understand about you humans. Don't give up. The projection shifts to scenes of early humans hunting, building shelters, and navigating harsh landscapes. Our story began with survival. We had no claws, no fangs, no natural armor. What we had were our minds and our hands. We learned to make tools, to work together, to build. Every step forward came because we refused to accept defeat. The human's tone grows more intense, but survival came at a cost. Competition for resources led to conflict. Our history is stained with wars over land, power, and sometimes over ideas. We've seen destruction on scales that would horrify even the bravest among you. The hologram now displays images of wars throughout human history: ancient battles, world wars, modern conflicts. The chamber fills with murmurs of unease as the alien council witnesses the raw brutality of human warfare. Yes, we've fought. And yes, we've made mistakes, but every time we've fallen, we've risen again. We've learned, we've adapted, and we've built something better. That's what you don't see when you focus only on our flaws. The projection shifts again, this time showing humanity's achievements, scientific breakthroughs, art, space exploration. We've harnessed fire, split the atom, and sent our machines to the farthest reaches of our solar system. We've created music that moves the soul and stories that inspire generations. Everything we've done because we're driven by something more than survival. We're driven by curiosity, by a need to understand, and by a desire to create. The human steps closer to the council members, their voice steady but filled with conviction. You've called us chaotic, and we are. But chaos is not weakness. Chaos is potential. It's the spark that drives innovation, the force that breaks barriers. We don't see challenges as reasons to stop. We see them as opportunities to grow. The projection now shows images of human collaboration rescue missions during disasters, medical breakthroughs, international cooperation for space exploration. When the stakes are high, we come together. We set aside our differences and work as one. That's when we're at our best. And that's what makes us dangerous, not because we seek conflict, but because we rise to meet it. The human pauses, letting the weight of their words settle over the room. You think we're insignificant because we're not as advanced as you. But consider this. In just a few thousand years, we've gone from hunting with sticks to exploring other planets. Imagine where we'll be in 1,000 more, or 10,000. You underestimate us at your peril. The chamber remains silent, the council members visibly unsettled. The human takes a final step forward, standing tall before the most powerful beings in the galaxy. We're not asking for your approval or your pity. We're not asking for anything. But if you think we're weak, if you think we're harmless, remember this: every species here was once primitive. Every great civilization started somewhere. Underestimating us would be your greatest mistake. The council erupts into quiet murmurs. The human stands their ground, their expression calm but firm. The chair raises a hand, signaling for silence. You have given us much to consider, human. Perhaps we have indeed misjudged your kind. This meeting is far from over. The human nods slightly, their mission clear. They have said their piece, and the council will now grapple with the truth they've presented. As the doors close behind them, the echoes of their words linger in the chamber, leaving the council in deep thought about the species they once dismissed. The council sits in silence, their collective attention focused on the human. The representative's expression hardens, their voice firm and unwavering. You've seen glimpses of what humans have done, our wars, our struggles, and our achievements. But if you truly want to understand us, you need to see the full picture. You need to know why we are both feared and respected on our own world. The holographic projector springs to life again, casting vivid images into the chamber. The first image is of a battlefield, smoke rising in the distance, soldiers marching through mud. This is war, not the kind fought with a duel or a skirmish, but total war. Entire civilizations mobilized against each other, millions of lives at stake, and every tool at our disposal used to gain an advantage. Our wars are not just conflicts, they are struggles for survival, power, and ideology. The images shift rapidly, ancient empires clashing, the trenches of World War I, the atomic bomb's devastating impact on Hiroshima. The alien council members watch in stunned silence as the brutal history of human conflict unfolds before them. We learned to fight because we had no choice. Survival often meant defeating those who sought to take what we had. And when we fought with everything we could muster. Some of our greatest innovations came from war machines, medicines, and technologies designed not just to win, but to survive the aftermath. One of the aliens interrupts, their voice trembling. Your weapons, why create tools that can destroy entire cities? Why create something so final? The human's gaze shifts toward the questioner, because we know what it means to be pushed to the brink. When faced with the possibility of annihilation, we chose to make sure we could fight back. It wasn't about destruction, It was about deterrence. The knowledge that such tools exist has prevented countless conflicts. The hologram changes again, showing images of concentration camps, mass graves, and the aftermath of genocide. The council members recoil at the horror. But it hasn't always worked. We've seen the darkest parts of ourselves. We've seen what happens when hate and fear consume reason. We've committed atrocities that we struggle to comprehend even now. We've hurt our own people in ways that no enemy ever could. The room feels heavy with the weight of the images and words. The human pauses, taking a deep breath before continuing. But we didn't stop there. We learned. We created laws, international agreements, and institutions to prevent these horrors from happening again. We called them war crimes acts so terrible that even in war they are forbidden. We created these rules not because we are noble, but because we know what it means to lose our humanity. The hologram shifts to more hopeful images, peace treaties being signed, nations working together after conflicts, humanitarian aid being delivered to war-torn areas. Out of our darkest moments came some of our brightest. We've rebuilt what was destroyed. We've forgiven enemies. We've helped those who once sought to harm us. That's what defines us, not just our ability to fight, but our ability to heal, to rebuild, and to grow stronger. Another alien speaks up, their tone skeptical. But your history shows so much violence. How can we trust that you won't turn that violence outward? The human's expression softens slightly, their tone measured. Because we understand the cost. Every war we've fought has taught us one thing. Peace is always the better path. But peace isn't always easy to achieve. Sometimes it requires strength. It requires the ability to defend yourself and those you care about. The hologram now shows humanity's progress, space exploration, medical breakthroughs, environmental restoration projects. The mood in the chamber shifts as the aliens begin to see another side of the species they had dismissed. We're not just fighters. We're creators, thinkers, and dreamers. We've cured diseases, sent our machines to other planets, and begun to understand the universe around us. We've done all this not because it was easy, but because it was hard. Because we refuse to accept limits. The human steps forward, their voice growing more impassioned. You call us chaotic, and we are. But chaos is a form of energy. It's unpredictable, yes, but it's also the source of innovation, resilience, and creativity. Chaos is what allowed us to survive a planet that constantly tests us. Chaos is why we're still here. The council murmurs among themselves, visibly shaken but also intrigued. The chair raises a hand, calling for silence. Your words are compelling, human, but they also reveal a dangerous species. How can we be sure that your chaos won't spill into the galaxy? The human looks directly at the chair, their voice steady and clear. You can't. But consider this: every species here was once where we are now. Primitive, divided, struggling. You've all faced challenges that forced you to grow, just as we are now. If you dismiss us, you deny the potential for what we could become. The hologram fades, leaving the chamber in silence. The human takes a final step forward, their voice filled with quiet determination. We don't claim to be perfect. We don't even claim to be better. But we are survivors. We are builders. And we are learners. Underestimate us if you want. But history shows that those who do rarely get a second chance. The council sits in stunned silence as the human steps back. The images of humanity's struggles and triumphs linger in the air, leaving an undeniable impression. The chair finally speaks. You have shown us much, human, perhaps more than we were ready to see. This council has much to consider. The human nods and leaves the chamber, their footsteps echoing behind them. As the great doors close, the council remains deep in thought, their understanding of humanity forever changed. The chamber remains silent as the human steps out, leaving behind a room full of beings grappling with a newfound understanding of humanity. The quiet is thick, charged with disbelief, unease, and a hint of respect. The chair finally breaks the silence. You have heard the words and seen the history of this species. Let us now share our thoughts. Who wishes to speak? Zeltran Prime, the crystalline figure who earlier dismissed humans as insignificant, is the first to respond. Their voice, once confident and dismissive, now carries a cautious tone. underestimated them. Their capacity for destruction is unlike anything we've seen. They create tools not just for survival, but for absolute dominance. And yet, their ability to rebuild is equally astonishing. I am unsure if I should fear them or admire them. Grixla, the insectoid alien, leans forward, their antennae twitching with agitation. They are reckless. They risk everything, sometimes for survival, sometimes for reasons I cannot comprehend. Their history shows a species teetering on the edge of annihilation, yet they refuse to fall. How do they manage such chaos without destroying themselves completely? A deep, rumbling voice cuts through the conversation. Vorlox, the reptilian diplomat, speaks with measured words. It is their chaos that makes them dangerous. They thrive in unpredictability. They adapt faster than any species I have studied. They are not like us, bound by order and tradition. They are something else entirely, an anomaly in the natural order. A murmur ripples through the council. The word anomaly carries weight among the advanced species. Cake, the smaller, cautious alien, speaks next, their voice filled with concern. We saw their wars, their violence, but we also saw their unity in the face of danger. They are divided, yes, but when the stakes are high, they come together in ways that even we, with all our advancements, might struggle to replicate. They are more resilient than we gave them credit for. Another alien raises a question that lingers in the minds of many. But what of their future? They are still young, still evolving. Will they remain this volatile, or will they stabilize as we have? If they stabilize, their potential could rival even our greatest achievement. A dissenting voice cuts through. Or they could destroy themselves before they ever reach that point. They flirt with annihilation, constantly war, environmental collapse, and internal division. They might not survive long enough to fulfill their potential. The chair nods thoughtfully. These are valid concerns. Yet, consider this. The human representative spoke not only of their strength, but of their flaw. They acknowledged their past mistakes and the cost of their actions. This awareness is rare. It suggests a species capable of learning from its history, of evolving beyond its current state. Zeltran Prime, still visibly uneasy, speaks again. But can we risk it? A species like this one that turns chaos into strength could pose a threat to us all if their ambitions grow beyond their world. Creek shakes their head. Or they could become allies. Their creativity, their resilience, these are qualities that could benefit us. We have seen their capacity for destruction, but also their capacity for growth. Perhaps we should not push them away, but guide them. The room falls into debate, voices rising and overlapping. Some argue that humans are a threat to be monitored, perhaps even contained. Others see an opportunity to foster a relationship with a species that could one day contribute to the galaxy's progress. The chair raises their hand, restoring silence. It is clear that humans are not what we expected. They are flawed, yet remarkable, dangerous, yet inspiring. Their chaos challenges our order, and their resilience humbles our complacency. The council murmurs in agreement. One of the younger diplomats hesitates before speaking. Perhaps the lesson here is that we should not judge a species solely by their actions, but also by their intentions. The human representative spoke with honesty, not arrogance. That, in itself, is a sign of maturity. The chair closes the discussion. We have much to consider. The humans are neither wholly good nor wholly bad. They are complex, as all intelligent life must be. Whether they become a force for unity or a threat to peace is a question that only time will answer. For now, let us watch, learn, and be prepared for whatever they choose to become. As the council disperses, the weight of the discussion hangs heavy in the air. The perception of humanity has shifted irreversibly. The aliens leave the chamber not with conclusions, but with questions about humans, about themselves, and about the unpredictable paths of intelligent life in the universe. The council chamber is empty now, the discussion's over, but the echoes of the human representative's words linger. The beings who had once dismissed humans as insignificant now carry a weight of uncertainty and respect. The chair reflects on the meeting, their voice resonating in the quiet hall. Humans are a paradox, species capable of great destruction, yet also of remarkable resilience. They embody both chaos and ingenuity, destruction and creation. It is their flaws that make them unpredictable, and their persistence that makes them extraordinary. Beyond the walls of the Council, the galaxy continues to turn. Yet, for the first time, the advanced civilizations of the cosmos look toward Earth not with ridicule or indifference, but with cautious curiosity. The human representatives' final words remain fresh in their minds. Underestimate us if you want, but remember history has shown that those who do rarely get a second chance. Perhaps humanity's story is just beginning, a tale that will shape the galaxy in ways no one can yet foresee. Whether as allies or adversaries, their presence is undeniable. And so, the Council disperses, each member returning to their home worlds with more questions than answers. But one thing is certain: humans are no longer just a curiosity. They are a force that cannot be ignored. As the stars shimmer in the vastness of space, the Earth rotates quietly, its people unaware of the discussions taking place light years away. The Council knows now what humanity may not yet realize itself. They are more than they seem, and their potential is both a promise and a warning. Humanity's story has always been one of survival, growth, and resilience. Today, we've seen how even the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy could underestimate the incredible potential of our species. But what do you think? Are humans a threat, a force for good, or something entirely different? We want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share your perspective. How do you think humanity would fare in the face of an intergalactic council? If this story made you think, laugh, or question the possibilities of the universe, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the unknown. And share this video with your friends. Let's keep the conversation going, because when it comes to humanity and the universe, the possibilities are endless.